Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you today?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay. I welcome you to class.
Welcome, ma'am.
I would
Welcome,
like
ma'am.
to, yes, ma'am. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you on this. And I believe you will enjoy it. However, I'm sure that you'll get transformed.
It
So
feels so,
before we
ma'am.
move to what we have for today, let me briefly discuss what I planned for the session, for this month's session. So after yesterday's voice note, I sat and made a sketch of how the session would look like,
Okay, ma'am.
considering you want to improve your presentation skills, tenses, word pronunciation, and accent reduction. I
Okay, ma'am.
feel that I feel that it's important that we start with tenses first.
Okay, ma'am.
Tenses would take about, 2 weeks, considering we're meeting twice a week. So
Okay.
this week and next week, because I do not want us to rush the content. So while we
Okay.
are doing that, we would focus on tenses and punctuation marks. I added punctuation marks because of the chat we had afterwards. So while we're doing that, we would have practical quizzes to do around discussion, role play, and all. So while you're submitting your practical quizzes, I would also pay attention to your pronunciation and pin out or pick out words that you might have mispronounced or words that you might have pronounced in a certain way that makes your mother tongue show. So that's what I draft out for this week, for this month rather. So I'd like to hear feedback from you. What do you think? Do you think it's what you want, or do you have a better suggestion?
It's better, ma'am. You know the what to do.
Okay, ma'am. So let's kick start. So today, like I said, we will be working on English tenses. But before we start to work on that, let's do a bit of mindset reset. Now, when it comes to English communication, the first thing is to understand that it comes from the part of learning and most importantly, practicing. Now, you learn, how do you learn? You learn, number one, by doing. So people make corrections, just like you said your husband does, is trying to help. Sometimes we might not find it the way we want it to look like, which is okay. But then doing, when we do, we make errors. We let people know that, okay, this is my strength, this is my weakness. I love that you are not you are not finding it difficult to do, or you're not scared of doing it. Let me use that word. A lot of people they do not want to do because they make errors. So I love that you're doing and people around you are helping. So you need to keep doing. So in class as well,
Mhm.
I do not want you to hide, come out, because it is when you do, it is when you get in the act, when you speak, when you write, that's when I realize, okay, this is where we need to focus on. This is another part we need to focus on, E to C. So first is doing. Second is when you do and you're being corrected, it is important to intentionally put it to use. So take, for example, I love that when you send me a message this afternoon, you wrote ma first, and then you deleted it immediately. You realized that, oh, this is not what I'm supposed to say, and you corrected yourself immediately. That is good. That is perfect. So you need to keep on
Thank you.
doing that. You also need to pay attention to your punctuation. So yesterday in the chart, let me go back to that chart. You replied, I think it was okay, ma. Okay, ma. Then I corrected you, stating that you should pay attention to my use of punctuation marks. Now, punctuation marks are very important in our writing. It is not something we want to overlook. It is one of the things that would help improve your writing. I love that one of the things you're looking at to improve on and more around communication is not just speaking, but writing as well. Your punctuation marks is very important. Don't overlook them. They might look like just tiny signposts or tiny symbols, but they're not just there as tiny. They play a great role in how we write and how people perceive us. So instead of just saying, what's the chart again? Instead of just saying, okay, ma, without the punctuation, it is appropriate that you use a comma when you are addressing someone. So you're addressing a woman and you're using the word ma. So let's just assume ma is correct. It's appropriate that you use a comma before the ma. And because there are no more words, it's also appropriate that you use a full stop. It's just like you're addressing your children at home and you're saying, close the door, Tammy. If I want to write that, I would write close the door or shut the door, as the case might be. Tammy, because I am referring to Tammy, there has to be a comma before I write Tammy's name. And because I am done, because that's the statement I'm writing, the full stop is important. Whether it's an informal setting, whether it's just a chat, or I'm writing a proposal, or I'm writing to someone that will, excuse me, I'm writing to someone that would judge my writing skill, it is important to use the punctuation marks. Same with capitalization. Why? Because like I said, speaking skill is an act. What you do every day is what you would keep doing. How you do the little things is how you do the big things. So if you say, okay, I'm just chatting, let me ignore the punctuation marks. Most times when you then start to write on a serious scale, you would unintentionally forget. You would not just remember because normally it's not a part of you. But if it is something that is already a part of you, whether you're chatting or you're just writing your market list or you're writing in the boardroom, it comes natural. So I need you to understand that. It means that you want to learn, that is why you're here, kudos, but then it's important to practice. So how then do you practice? You have to practice with the little things you do, from discussion at home to a voice note on a WhatsApp chat to writing on a WhatsApp chat. All of these will compound your skill. So when it's time to write on formal stages or even speak on public stages, it becomes easy for you. But if you wait until then, I can assure you that you will not remember. That's the way communication works. That's the truth. So anything we are doing together here, do not wait until you want to discuss with your husband or until you want to discuss with your colleagues or your employees or your boss. Do not wait until then. Start with everybody. To your children, your teacher, even to yourself. You can, if you're like me, I write myself notes every now and then. Even while I'm doing that, I want to pay attention to how it is being done. Recently, I went to learn handwriting because I do a lot of writing. So I wanted to improve the way my writing shows. And then yesterday, I was writing my market list. And my husband was like, you're wasting time. Please write fast, write fast. I was like, sorry, I'm trying to practice my writing skill. I was like, no, just write it anyhow. I would see your handwriting. But no, if I write it anyhow, then it becomes a part of me. Naturally, it would just become a part of me. If I say, okay, I'll wait until maybe I'm feeling a bank slip, or I'll wait until I want to write to my colleagues, I want to write to my team before I practice, it's a lie. When it's that time, you would forget because it's not just who you are. But when you do this every other time, it becomes who you are, it becomes a culture, and you would not struggle when you want to do it to anyone. So the first step to improving your communication skill, whether writing or speaking, is to learn and practice. When you learn and you do not practice, you would only know it here. You would not be able to showcase it. But when you learn and you practice, you would know and you will be able to showcase it. So, before we start this afternoon, we're going to do a short task on tenses. But before that, let me briefly introduce tenses to you. Tenses is all about timing. Are you a Yoruba woman, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
Very well. So I'm going to use examples around Yoruba language. Now, in Yoruba, one of the things that helps us to know or understand who you're talking to is the use of or you're talking to someone of your pair. But when you use even when we can't see the person you're talking to, we just assume that that person is someone you respect, older
Yes,
than you. Now, same with
yes.
English. Though such doesn't happen in English, whether you're talking to someone older than you or not, we use the same pronoun, she, he. We don't change it. But then in English, they pay attention to timing. Tenses helps the person you're talking to understand whether what you're talking about is happening right now, or it had happened, or it will happen in future. Majorly, there are three schedules when it comes to timing. Something that has happened before, something that is happening now, and something that would happen later. So that's why we talk about our past, our present, and our future. Those three things are what should help you whenever you're writing or you're speaking. So the first question you want to ask yourself when you're saying anything is, what time did it happen? So you want to answer that question. Had it happened before, or is happening now, or it's going to happen later? Or maybe it started before, it is still ongoing, and it would continue until a certain timing. Timing, very important. But before we can understand tenses in terms of timing, we must understand verbs. Tenses work with verbs. Now, when we were in school, we were taught part of speech. We're taught nouns, pronouns, adjectives, etc., and then verbs. Now, verbs focuses on things that has to do with action, mainly. Of course, there are other types of verbs. But when we talk about tenses also, it is more about action. So anytime you're talking and you want to talk about action, something that has happened, tense is important. So the question again is, when did it happen? In the past, present, or later? These three timing would help you to know how to do it, or what to say, or how to write it. Now, the second thing you must pay attention to around timing is when you're describing things, let's assume you're saying a story. In a particular sentence, the tense you have started with is the tense you must end with. Again, in a particular sentence, the tense you have started with is the tense you must end with. Now, let's quickly take this short quiz. This would help me understand better your strength around tenses. Then we'll go into explaining it. So I want to share the task. So this is what we're working on. Can you see it properly on your screen? It's simple. You have to find the errors in this writing. Can you see it, ma'am?
No, I've not seen.
Can you you can swipe your screen left, right. It should be somewhere there. You can see it. Okay, let me stop and share again. Let me stop my screen and share again. How about now? Can you see it now?
It's like the next word.
Network.
Next word. Thank you. Hello? 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 Ah, apologies, not sure.
Hello. What's happening? Hello, ma'am.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
She's not here. She
Is that me?
is. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you right now, ma.
Hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you right now.
Okay, sorry about that. I think it's the network. Been
Yeah,
shouting a little since. Okay. I
that's
would share
nice.
my screen again. So we have a passage here that I wanted you to rewrite. So I want you to read the passage. It's just a short one. And then I want you to identify all the errors and let's rewrite it perfectly.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So please read. As you read, identify the errors.
It's a warm-up challenge. The grammar detective instructions. Read this paragraph and identify all the errors, tenses, punctuations, word choice. Rewrite it perfectly. Yesterday, I am working on my presentation when my boss called me. He said that the meeting will happen next week, but prepared everything. I already prepared everything. I was thinking why it don't tell me earlier. Now I am confused and don't know what I supposed to do. Correction
So
now.
let's rewrite it. So let's
Yesterday,
rewrite it, ma'am. Okay, go
okay,
ahead.
yesterday I was working on my presentation when my boss called me. He said that the meeting will, will he said the meeting will happen next week. But I already prepared everything. I was thinking, I already prepared everything. I was thinking, I was thinking why why it did not tell me earlier. Now I am confused. Now I am confused and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Should I say it again?
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, I was working on my presentation when my boss called me. He said that the meeting will happen next week, but I prepared, I already prepared everything. I was thinking why he did not tell me earlier. Now I am confused. Now I am confused. Not easy. Now I am confused. Continuous tense. Now I am confused and I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Well done, ma'am.
Now,
This is impressive. Well
thank you,
done.
ma'am.
So now let's analyze it. So everything this lady has said, number one, the beginning. Let's talk about it. What time did it happen? So
Yesterday,
remember
past tense.
timing. Past. Because of what? Why did you say it's past?
Yesterday.
Because of yesterday. So past. So it means that the verb she would use has to
Well, should
be
be five.
past as well. So you're correct. Yes, I was working. Words there already shows that it's past. On my presentation, when my boss called me, beautiful as well. Called. He said is another verb and it's in the past already. That the meeting will happen next week. Now let's talk about will happen. What do you think about this? Is this still in the past?
On the future tense, madam.
Future, yes, will. Will chose future. It will happen. So here This is a report. This person is reporting what the boss has said. So of course it's correct. Reported tense. Reported sentence rather. He said that the meeting will happen next week, but I already everything. Now remember I said in a sentence, the tenses must be in the same tense. Can you remember that?
Yes.
Now, this is one sentence. The sentence started here and it ended here, according to the writer. Now, this is a verb here. This is another verb. This is another verb. This verb and this verb are in the same tense, said, prepared. The verb here isn't in the past tense.
Hello?
Speech. The writer who made the statement. That's why we have he said. The writer is writing, but referring to what the boss had said. She said, he said. Pay attention to that. Now let's continue. I was thinking. So yesterday is that when my boss told me, right? So I then thought to myself, why didn't he tell me earlier? Why did it make me go through this stress when I could have done it next week? And I want you to tell me, why don't you think here we could have changed it to I thought? Why didn't he tell me earlier? What do you think about that?
The writer is still the one talking, and
Yes,
it was still continuous tense. He was
okay.
narrating what he was
Narrating. So
thinking.
what type of continuous tense is it? Is it present continuous, past continuous, future continuous?
He said, I was thinking.
Yes.
That is, it was a past tense. It was a past tense. Something that happened, it has happened. His thinking was not present thinking because
It's
of
not
that
present
was.
thinking. Yes. So
That
it's
was
past. So we call such tense
past participle.
past continuous.
Mhm.
There are 4 types of tenses under each major tenses. The major tenses we have in English: past tense, present tense, future tense. Now, under each of them, there are 4 other types. We have the present simple tense. We have the present continuous tense. Some people call it the present progressive tense. We have the present perfect tense. And then we have the present perfect continuous tense. Same with the past tense, same with the future tense. So you realize that was thinking is a combination of past. Past is was. Thinking, progressive, something that is continuing. So we call this past continuous tense. That is, as at the time, though it happened in the past. Because it happened in the past, we have was, but as at that time, the thinking is progressing. It wasn't just something that happened and stopped. It took few seconds. I was thinking. But if we use the expression I thought, that is simple past tense. As at that time, the thought came and that was it. I did not continue thinking.
Yes.
Am I communicating, ma'am? I do not want
Yes, ma'am.
to
Yes, ma'am.
confuse you.
I can. Yes, I understand.
Okay, so now let's consider it. It is either I have that thought and the thought continued. I was thinking. So that means the thought started yesterday when my boss called, and I am still thinking as when I wrote this. Or the thought just came I said, when my boss told me that, okay, this meeting would not hold again until next week. And that was it. I was just like, why didn't you tell me? And that's it. Or when my boss told me, I started thinking, why didn't my boss told me? And I was still thinking until when I was writing this. So I like to say to my clients that tenses is not always wrong. Whether you say I was thinking or I thought, you're not wrong. It all depends on what you're communicating. So if you're saying I was thinking, it means that you started your thought yesterday and you're still thinking. It's progressing. The thinking didn't end yesterday. So if that is what you mean, or if that what the writer meant as at the time he or she wrote this, then this is correct. But if that is not what the writer meant, the writer had meant that as my boss called me, I just thought, why didn't you tell me what happened? And that was it. I didn't bother about it again. It wasn't like the thought keeps coming. Then this is wrong. So if you were the writer, which of these scenarios would be accurate for this sentence? I was thinking, why didn't... Now, before you answer that question, let's pay attention to this part. The writer used something called contraction. There's a contrast here. Don't.
Why didn't you?
Don't. The writer compiled do
D-O-N-T.
and not together to
Yes.
form one word.
Yes.
Contraction.
Yes. Hello? Hello? Hello, ma.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry about that. Nigerian network. So let's get back to this. Can you see my screen now?
Still loading.
Okay. Let me know once you can see it.
Okay.
Can you say now?
No.
Okay. Well, the screen is loading. Let's quickly talk about the answer, no. So in English, we do not expect you to answer in a monologue. No, I
Okay.
cannot see it. Yes, I can see it. Then the pronunciation is no. There is a sound
No.
in English I love to call the classy sound. It's so wonderful for a woman to be able to use those sounds. There are three of them. And
Okay.
no, the O sound is one of it. So Nigerians would naturally say O. So we say no. We say go. So we hear things like go to your room. And so the right articulation of the sound is oh. Pay attention to
Oh.
my mouth.
No.
Exactly.
Oh.
No. We
No.
should not rush to
No.
articulate the O sound. So
No.
henceforth,
Oh.
I expect that any word that has the O sound, you want to take your time to say
Oh.
oh. Even when you're
Oh.
angry
Oh.
or you're in a hurry, just take that extra seconds to articulate it rightly.
Oh.
So it's supposed to be no,
No.
I cannot see it yet.
No. No.
Exactly, no.
No.
Over, go to your room, not go to your room. Go to your room.
Go to
It
your
helps with your
go.
accent. It
Go
helps
to
to give your accent that British-like sound. Go to your room. And
go
so,
to. And
instead of and
so.
so,
And
and
so.
so,
And
it's
so.
over. I'm not
It's
interested in the
over.
project again. It's
Over.
over instead
It's
of it's
over.
over. So you want to intentionally pay attention to that sound. Oh, oh, don't do that. Instead of don't do that. Don't do that. etc. So let's get back to this. So we start as I was thinking. Can you see the screen now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
So I already explained to you why we should use I was thinking and why we should use I thought. So my question was, if you were the writer, which of these do you think the writer is trying to express? Is she or he still thinking from yesterday until now, or you felt like the writer would be done thinking about that?
He was only narrating. He has done with thinking, but because he used was, so he continued using thinking just to
Okay.
let let the feelings be known that at that period he was thinking.
Okay. So if that is correct, if what you have narrated is correct, then the right expression should be I thought. If it was done thinking already, then you're
Okay.
supposed to just say I thought. Why didn't he? Remember, not why did he not? Because of the contract here. So we have to
Okay.
change this to didn't. So the right expression there should be I thought if it was done thinking. Remember my explanation again. Simple past tense talks about something that happened in the past and it is done. So it happened yesterday and is finished. It's not affecting my thought today. I'm not bothered about it today. I'm just telling you what happened yesterday. But if it had happened yesterday and yesterday the person started thinking, and the person is still bothered about it until today. The person is still thinking. That's when we can use past continuous to tell the person listening to you that past, it happened yesterday, but it is still continuing until now. The person is still thinking about what had happened yesterday. That is when the
That
person
is
can say, I was thinking. Was there
okay.
tells you the thinking started yesterday, but the person is still thinking
Still
right now
thinking.
at the
Okay.
moment of discussing with you or at the moment of describing what happened or maybe writing to you. But if the thinking has ended the same yesterday that it started, then the
I
right tense
thought.
to use is simple
I
past. I thought. Why didn't he tell me earlier? So here we should have thought.
okay, ma'am.
Now, I am confused. That was correct. You added D to this, so correct. Now, the reason why we use my am here is because of this expression now. Now shows presence. Am shows presence as well. Now I am confused. And don't know. New is past. So you're correct as well when you changed it to know. I don't know what I supposed to do. No. What I am
I am supposed to do.
supposed to do.
I am supposed to do.
Just like am confused. Same tense. Am supposed as well. So the right reading, pay attention to my pronunciation. When it comes to pronunciation, just like every other communication skill, you learn and practice. Yesterday. Yesterday. In English,
Yesterday.
when we're pronouncing a word that has more than one syllable, we do not pronounce all the syllables with the same energy. As a Nigerian, I would say something like yesterday. My voice is like yesterday. Same energy. But the right way to say it, yesterday.
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 When you get to TER, your energy comes down a bit. Yesterday. Not yester. Yesterday.
Not yesterday.
I was working on my presentation when my boss called me. He said that the meeting will happen next week, but I already prepared everything. I thought, why he didn't tell me earlier? Now I am confused and don't know what I'm supposed to do. Now, while you were reading, I noted 3 things, but we cannot talk about all of these 3 things at the same time. It's just one we're going to focus on. I noted that you articulated words starting with vowels. You realize that I underlined them earlier. Words starting with vowels. I noticed that you pronounced them with a H. You said something like, I am everything. You added H to them. I already. It sounded like that. There's something called H factor in English.
Yes.
H factor. Now, there are 2 types of H factors. We have the H affectation, and then we have the second one, which is H deaffectation. What does it mean? H affectation, it means that when you are pronouncing words that don't have the H sound, you tend to add the H sound to it. While H deaffectation means that when you're pronouncing words that have the H sound, you get to remove it. Now, the one you are struggling with or you are experiencing, let me use that word, is H affectation. You tend to add H to words starting with vowel sounds. An example of such word is am. You pronounced ham. You pronounced H-A-M, ham. That is wrong. A lot of people find it so irritating. People that know what it is. So how do you overcome it? The first is to know. Now, I'm glad you know. It seems you already know. Now, the second is to understand how the sound is pronounced. Now, you realize that when we want to pronounce the H sound, we usually take a deep breath. We go like we are exhaling.
Yes.
So it means that for us to articulate the H sound, we need to breathe in. So what I would recommend is anytime you want to pronounce words starting with vowels, hold your breath. Don't breathe for that seconds. So if I want to say am, I would not breathe. I would hold my breath and quickly say am. The moment you do that, the H sound will not come out. If I want to pronounce I'm, I would hold my breath and say I, because once I breathe, the H will be heard. When I want to pronounce everything, I would hold my breath and say everything. Let's try together.
Yesterday,
No,
I
I want you
have
to pronounce the word everything.
everything.
I can see here the H sound. Hold your breath.
Yes.
Everything. Again.
Everything. Everything.
Good. 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 Let's try to pronounce egg. Hold your breath and say egg.
Egg.
Can hear the H. Hold your breath. Make sure you're not breathing. Egg.
Egg.
Better. So the strategy, I did not say strategy. Strategy. So the strategy to pronouncing words that start with vowels and not adding the H sound is holding your breath. You have to practice that until you can pronounce it with your breath. Now, this takes intentionality. It means that when you're speaking, you want to slow down so that your brain can trigger you, your brain can tell you when you're approaching words starting with vowels. Because otherwise, if your brain doesn't trigger you, you would rush over it, and before you know it, you would pronounce it with the H. So it takes a lot of work. You have to be intentional. Whenever you're speaking, try to use your brain to watch out. Okay, the next word, is it starting with a vowel? If it is starting with a vowel, slow down, don't rush it. Hold your breath and pronounce it. That is it. So that is the part of practicing now. Now that we have learned it, you know what to do. But if you don't practice, people will keep hearing that H sound. So I tell people that communication, improving your communication, is like praying. A lot of us, the blessings we have today, we have prayed over and over and over and over again. Sometimes we have even cried in our corner when nobody is seeing us. But once you get that blessing, a lot of people would see it. Same with speaking. Don't wait until you get to the office, until you get home, before you practice these things. On your own, if you're the type that spend time alone, practice. Just take random books. Maybe you're on Facebook, you're scrolling and you're reading a post. Intentionally read aloud to yourself. Even when you cannot read aloud, let's say you're in the public and you can't read aloud, intentionally take your time to read. Look out for words that start with vowels. Hold your breath and pronounce them. The more you do these things, the better it becomes. The truth is, I had suffered H factor before, over 7, 8 years ago. But here I am teaching it. If I did not intentionally practice it then, it was worse than even when I want to call my name. My surname is Agbalaya. It started with a vowel. I would say Hagbalaya. And people would laugh at me and say, that's not how to pronounce your name. You don't even know how to pronounce your name. Your name is Agbalaya. And I will still repeat it. Hagbalaya. Because I didn't even know I was suffering until somebody told me, you're suffering H factor. So now you know how to overcome it. It's important to practice it. Funnily, the practice part is something you do yourself. No coach would help you.
I will.
Apart from what you do
I will do
together
that.
in class. Now
I will
let's
do
read
that.
this again. While you're reading, your attention is to focus on words starting with vowels. So I
Okay.
am, not I am. I am. Hold your breath.
Oh,
I am. I was. Just read it. Don't pay attention to the grammar this time. We are
okay.
paying attention to the
Yesterday,
factor.
yesterday, I am working on my
Again,
presentation.
again, I can hear the
Yesterday,
H.
yesterday, can I start again?
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, yesterday, I, yesterday,
Just stay
um,
calm. That's why
okay.
you paid for personal coaching. You're not wasting anyone's
Yesterday,
time. There's no one here to laugh
okay.
at you. Stay calm. If you make a mistake, start again. You have paid for
Yesterday,
the timing. Yes, please.
yesterday, I'm working on my presentation when my boss called me. Yesterday, oh gosh, sorry, it's
It's
the
fine.
network. So
It's fine.
yesterday, I'm working on my presentation when my boss called me. He said, he said that the meeting will happen next week, but I already prepared everything. I was thinking, hmm, why why it didn't tell me earlier. No,
Again,
I,
again, this part.
yes, okay, yesterday I'm working on my presentation when my boss called me. He said that the meeting will happen next week, but I already prepared everything. I already
Take it
prepared,
from but. Take it again from but.
I already prepared everything. I
I
was
can hear the
thinking,
H in everything. I can hear the H.
okay,
Don't add H to everything. Hold your breath. So start again from but. But I
but I
already
al-
prepared everything.
but I already prepared everything.
I
I
can
was
still hear the
thinking,
H in everything. Say
but
everything.
I already prepared everything.
Good. Okay.
Everything. But I already prepared everything. I was
Good.
thinking why he didn't tell me earlier. Now,
Earlier, I can hear the H again in earlier. So start again
earlier.
from I was thinking.
How, okay. Everything I was thinking, why he didn't tell me earlier?
I
Now
can still
I
hear
am
the
con
H in earlier. Remember,
okay.
earlier also start with a vowel.
Yeah.
So make sure
Why
you're
he didn't
holding your
why he
breath.
didn't why he didn't tell me earlier?
Okay.
Why he didn't tell me earlier? Now
Okay. Good.
I'm confused. I'm confused. Am I
Again.
right? Now
Again.
I'm confused. Now
Better
I'm
now.
confused.
Better now.
Now I'm confused. I don't know what I supposed to do.
But it's not a one-time practice. If
I
I were
will.
you,
I will practice more.
every day, like every time, in fact, every time
I will.
I'm on social media reading a post or I'm even talking to somebody, I would intentionally watch out for words starting with vowels. And once I get there, I would hold my breath and make sure I have pronounced it rightly. Sometimes you can even take a voice recording of yourself. You can send it to me asking if you did pronounce it rightly. Or you can even
Okay.
listen yourself and find out, okay, did I pronounce it rightly? Yeah, no, I didn't pronounce. Let me go over it again, again, and again. If you can stay committed to this for just 7 days, like
I
every
will.
day, do it over
I
and over
will.
and again. I
I
promise
will do
you,
that.
the next week, after that 7 days, you will sound better. It's all about
Oh,
practicing. So
I
good.
will.
So now that we understand tenses, let's now learn it. Now that we understand how timing works with this short paragraph that we just worked on, let's now learn what tenses really is. So I'll go back to my old slide. Yeah. So let's talk about tenses. I already said that tenses is all about timing. It tells
Yeah.
us when an action happened. So I want you to imagine verb tense like time traveling. They tell us something that happened before in the past. Then it keeps traveling until today, telling us about what is happening now. And it continues its trip to the future, telling us what will happen in the future. It is that simple. So we have the past tense, which everybody knows, present tense, and the future tense. But like I said, each of these tenses, they have 4 different types. So that is where the confusion really lies. These 4 different types. Everybody knows the past tense, the present tense, and the future. But sometimes this timing can interweave. Just like when I explained what was it? I was thinking.
Okay.
It's not just a past tense. It's a past continuous tense because it happened before and it's still happening. So now we're going to start with the present tense. So what is the meaning of present tense? Present talks about now, things that happened or that is happening now. So there are 4 types of present tense. The first is the present simple tense. For all of these tenses, whether the past tense, the present tense, or the future tense, it always starts with the simple. So for the present tense, we're starting with the simple present tense. This talks about everyday action, things that you do regularly, like sleeping at a particular time, working at a particular time, eating, things that you do regularly. So for example, I'll say something like, I go to church on Sundays. It means that every other Sunday, that's what you do. In that sentence, go is a simple present tense. Another example is, I sell a wide variety of fabric. Sell, that's the simple form of present tense. I sell, that means what I do every day, or what I've been doing all my life is selling. So tomorrow, if you come to my shop, that is the same thing you will see. Next tomorrow, when you come to my store, that's what you would see. Another example is cotton is a popular choice for hot weather. It means that anytime the weather is hot, the preferred choice or the popular choice remains cotton. It happens every day, every time. This is so easy to understand. Another example could be, she sleeps in the afternoon. That means every afternoon you find her sleeping. She sleeps in the afternoon. Yesterday afternoon, she slept. Today, you're going to see her sleep in the afternoon. Tomorrow, she will sleep in the afternoon. It happens regularly. Simple present tense. Very easy to comprehend. So more examples, we could have jump, go, come, drink, learn, look. The simplest words around, they are in the simple present tense. Now let's go to the second type of present tense, and that is the present continuous tense. It is still in the present, but it is continuous. Another name for continuous is progressive. Another person might say present progressive tense. It's the same. So let's look at the word continuous. That word is got from the word continuing. And this is a type of tense that when you spell them, you use the ing. So for example, if I have sell in my simple present tense, can you hear me? It seems like you're glued to the
I can
screen.
hear you, ma. I can hear
Okay.
you, ma.
So sec, for example, if you have the word, let me take, I want to get my pen. I want to write it out. Oh, you can't see my, can you still see my screen?
No,
It seemed like you can
no,
see it
ma.
again. Oh, you didn't tell me. I didn't know. I thought you could see my screen all along. I just realized now that it was paused. Okay, let me quickly get it. I didn't know you can see it. I just realized now. I was trying to get my pen. Then I saw somewhere where it wrote paused. I didn't know. It's loading.
I can hear you, ma. Continue.
Okay. So the present continuous. I want to write. That's why I needed the pen. So let's say we have the simple present, go. The present continuous would have the ing. It becomes going. So present continuous tense are the tenses that always take ing. Going, sleeping, learning, working, shouting, etc. On and on like that. So that is the continuous tense. Then we have the present perfect tense. Now, this is a bit complicated because it is used for actions that relate to other points in time. It is either it has been completed or it is ongoing. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I can hear you, ma.
So when you have the present perfect tense, it is either what you're talking about is
Have been
still
completed.
ongoing. That means it started before and it is still ongoing, or it has been concluded. So that's why we would have something like has gone or have gone. I believe you can see my screen now because I'm writing on it. Can you see my screen
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay. So again, the simple, okay, let me state it. So it's simple present. An example is go. The present continuous. Excuse me. Example is going. Now the present perfect. So go will change to has gone or have gone. We use has for singular. For example, he has gone. We use have for plural.
A plural.
For example, they have
They have
gone.
gone.
So that's why we can have either has gone or have gone. It depends on who you're referring to. So has is singular. Have is plural. Now, the last type of present tense that we have is the present perfect continuous tense.
Yeah.
And this shows an ongoing action, an action that is ongoing in the present, but was started in the past. So we have, I can have has been going, or have been going. So I can say, he has been going to Domino Pizza. They have been going to Domino's Pizza. So I can say he has been going to Domino Pizza since last month. It started last month and it's still going. Today it will be there. Tomorrow it will be there. Present, perfect, continuous. They have been going to Dodo Pizza for 3 days now. They started on, today is Tuesday. They started on Sunday. It was there on Monday. It will be there today. It will be there tomorrow. So it started an ongoing action that started in the past and it is not yet concluded. Let's take it again. Simple present, something that is happening now. Like I said, it is the most basic of the English tenses. It talks about habitual action, something that you do every time or something that happens every time. So I can have examples like stay. I stay in the room. Carry. She carries the grocery, etc. Now, the second type of present tense is the present continuous tense. The present continuous tense talks about something that happened and it is ongoing. So, for example, I am learning. I am learning right now. You're learning and it's still ongoing. It's not as if you're done learning. It's still going to be like that for another 2, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour. I am learning. She is carrying the grocery, right? I am reading. We are eating. Now, present perfect. Present perfect talks about something that happened, an ongoing action, but it started in the past and it is not yet concluded. She has learned. They have learned. She has slept. They have slept. She has carried. They have carried. Now, the last type of present tense is the present perfect continuous tense. So that has been. He has been learning. They have been learning. She has been carrying. They have been carrying. She has been eating. They have been eating. What do you have to say about these 4 types of present tense, ma'am?
I noticed that they, like you have said earlier, that they work with
Earlier,
time.
the age
Earlier,
factor. I can hear age in earlier.
okay, no? As you have said earlier, am I right?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
As you have said earlier, that they work with time. I can
Yes.
notice that the simple present tense is what is going on. I mean, what it is continue,
On.
what is going
I
on
can,
every day.
okay, better now.
What is going on every day? When the present continuous tense is something that is continuity, something
Okay,
going on day-to-day activities.
okay,
Present perfect tense is what you are saying about something that has happened, but
okay,
we are still present perfect tense is something that had happened, but we are still referring to it as something that is still continuing, but it has gone.
but
Like,
that's gone.
yeah, it has gone. Yeah,
Okay,
something. So when you're talking about present perfect continuous tense, it is something that has gone, but we are still reporting it as if it is still continue.
I love
A
that.
situation, a
So now let's
situation
take some,
whereby
go ahead, ma'am. I thought you were done.
a, a situation whereby we are reporting its speech on an activity that had happened earlier and still continue. So that is what we are talking about, present perfect continuous things. That is
Very well.
present perfect continuous activity.
Well done. Now let's make it practical now. Let's make it practical. So let's
Okay, ma'am.
have a conversation between you and I.
Okay.
So we're going to
Alrighty.
talk about, remember, we're learning present tense. So we're
Yes.
going to use scenarios. I would ask you questions and you answer. So let's talk about your morning routine. What do you usually do in the morning?
Well, early in the morning, whenever I wake up in early in the morning, I pray to God. After praying to God, I called my husband, greet him whenever he's not around with me. My children, we pray together. After that, go to the kitchen, prepare their food. Start preparing their food every day.
Again,
Wash my
I
teeth.
can hear the H in every day.
Yeah, yeah. I prepare their food, and every day I wash my clothes. I mean, my underwear, and brush my
I can hear the
teeth.
H again in underwear. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm helping you practice. That's why I'm pointing it
Yeah,
out.
that's what I brush. I brush my teeth. After I brush my teeth, I wash my clothes. After washing the clothes, get out of the bedroom, take care of whatever I have to do, then go back to the office. So that is how I spend my day early in the morning before going out back, going out every day.
Very well. So what tenses, which of these tenses we have learned did you use in everything you've said?
Use present and present. I use present. I use
Which
simple
of the
tense and
present
future
tense?
tense.
Sim. I didn't hear you, ma'am.
I said I use throughout what we are talking every day. I use simple present tense.
Beautiful. Simple present. What we do every day. So
Yes.
every day I wake up, I take my bath, I brush my teeth, I call my husband, I pray for my children, I prepare breakfast, I take my bath, on and on. Present tense. Now, what are you doing right now?
I'm sitting and
Okay.
learning.
I want you to, okay. So what tense did you use? I am sitting, I am learning.
Continuous tense.
Beautiful. Present continuous tense. It adds ing. So present continuous tense talks about what is happening at the moment. Now, what work or study experience do you have? Let's talk about your work. What
Okay.
work do you do or what study experience do you have?
Well, I I work with a law firm where I'm working as an associate. Well, I tried as much as possible to go out early in the morning, look for their clients, like an administrative worker in the office.
Very well. Now you're going to say this again. I want you to use the present perfect. You said I work at the law firm. It's supposed to be I am working
Okay, I should use it as a present continuous
because
tense. Okay.
yes, because you're talking
Presently, I'm
about
working.
your work.
Okay,
It's not as if after today or after this moment you're going to stop.
okay.
It's something that
Presently,
continues and it will not
presently, I'm
end
working.
soon.
Okay,
Mm.
presently, I'm working with a law firm. The law firm presently, I work as the administrative officer. I tried as much as possible to look into their day-to-day activities. And also, I tried as much as
And
possible.
don't add H to and. You have added H to
Okay.
and.
I tried as much as possible to work with their day-to-day activities and their clients, which I have to communicate with them every day. No matter either I like it or not, I have to communicate with their clients. I have to express to them what the office demands from them, and also to have a listening ear to listen to whatever they also want as a client to the office. And after that, every day must deliver
Every
on
day,
what
no H. Every day
on
without the H.
Okay, every day I must deliver to my boss who are appointed the office and also write a report to the principal or the manager principal manager of the company who are appointed the office today or every day.
Again, every day. I can hear the
Every
H
day.
again.
Every day.
Very well. So now what you have just said, you have used the present perfect. Now, what have you been working on lately? Is there any special thing you've been working on lately? Maybe a project?
Yes.
Okay.
Last week I was given a project to work on the activities of the law firm for past 2 months and to trace in how the activities have been going on and to write a report how the last month was being done, which I did. The activities of the lawyers of the law firm, the activities of the secretary, which I did. I wrote it, and after it has been written, I I mailed it to the principal of the office, which he had to work on, and that would make it easier for him to pay the salary of the workers of the law firm.
Now, what tense did you use?
I I used past participle. I mean,
No.
sorry, present perfect tense when I was
Right.
talking, and
Okay.
also I use the present perfect tense when I was talking, and I use a present perfect continuous tense also. Those two.
Exactly. Exactly. I have been working for, I think you said a month. I have been sending mails, present, perfect, continuous. Why am I doing this? I'm just trying to bring to your notice, excuse me, how this is being used in conversations or in our daily routine. They all have their meanings. So which means that if I say, instead of saying I have been sending mails, if I say I have sent the mail, I'm not wrong. It's just the meaning that is different. If I
Yes,
say I am sending the mail or I sent the mail, none of these sentences is wrong. It then depends on the meaning I am trying to pass to the public. So would you say you have perfectly understood present tense?
yes, I can.
Okay. So, like I said, we will be learning tenses for 4 weeks, for 2 weeks rather. That is 4 sessions, because I do not want to rush you and I want us to really get to understand this so that after now you can confidently use your tenses. So let's take one more task. But before that task, do you have any question?
No, I'm very grateful for this lecture, and also because I noticed that when it comes to communication or writing a report, I'm always scared. That is the major reason of going to this, thinking of how will I be scared and addressing the public as an administrative. How will I address the public and I'll be scared of pronouncing my statements, my word. Even when I'm about to address, I notice that the fear, even when I'm supposed not to make a mistake because of the fear, I make some mistakes. But I know with this, I know within a month, I know and I'm sure the way it is going on that I'll be able to overcome the fear and overcome the chest at home also between my husband and my children.
I'm glad that I love this feedback. Now, let's quickly do something around presentation. Let's talk about your fear. For every person speaking to the public, they have their fears. Naturally, the fears will come, but you need to do it afraid. How? By turning your fears into fuel. Speaking is actually an opportunity to tell the world what you're made of. There's a saying that says if you do not show the world what you carry, they would not know. So anytime it's time to address them in public or not, the first step is to change your fears into fuel. Convince yourself. that it is necessary for you to do this. It is really necessary for you to do this. So let's quickly work on a report, and then that would be your assignment. So let me share my slide. I'm finding it difficult to share my slide. Please give me a few seconds.
Okay,